Josefu Adeyeni, who is the founder, Center for Applied Thinking. Thank you for coming on today. We're talking about unemployment. I mean, it stares us in the face. You know, there are people who are stereotyped about what needs to be done about tackling unemployment. What do you think needs to be done?
Employment is an effect. The Greek cause is the education. Education is from the word edusia. It's meant to bring out potentials from individual so that they learn to live. But our education here is failing. That is why we are having unemployment in our hand. And it's just because we are using 28th century curriculum to prepare 21st century people.
How do you mean?
There's what we call education objectives. That is called Bloom Taxonomy, which we use in Nigeria, and many countries they use it. That is of original Bloom Taxonomy is of 1956. In 90s, the Bloom people discovered that the taxonomy is not relevant again. They came together, they revised it, and a new one was out in 2001. But we are still using 1950s version. That is why you are preparing people for job in the 1956 version. But the 2001 version is to make people to create their future. So when you prepare people for job and the job is not there, who are going to create the job? Because other countries have discovered that this Bloom task is no more relevant. That is why World Bank said we are using outdated curricula in Nigeria.
Sorry if I may come in here.
Yes.
The situation right now, we have people who are already out of school and they are jobless.
Yes.
So how do we remedy the situation?
The way we can, when we want to solve a problem, there are two approaches to problem solving. The first approach is stop it approach. The second one is mob it approach. We have been using mob it approach in Nigeria. This stop it approach is to go to the curriculum and use the revised version to prepare people. That's
for those still in school. Stop it approach.
But why we are doing it, that we need mob it approach. Those people who are out of the school, they need to teach them productive thinking. Because other countries' curriculum is thinking-oriented curriculum. That is the 2001 version. Is meant to make people to be think. That's why in Asian countries they encourage thinking. Even in England, the England curriculum of 1999 is a thinking-oriented curriculum. And they gave us, they colonized us. They are moving ahead. We are still using, we are living in the past.
Your agency or your Center for Applied Thinking,
yes.
How does it help young people think, you know?
We've discovered from our research and we wrote the government, so this is the way out. In 2001, we've been writing the Federal Minister of Education. Even as at last week, we were forced to write proposal to the federal.
Okay, so how it works is that you're not working with young people. What you're doing is carrying out research on why this thing still persists, and what you notice you forward to the federal ministries that are responsible. Is that how it works?
We just from the beginning to we work with not only with we do research and we try to get to like we have the only thinking school in Nigeria is Nigeria. We teach thinking. And we have the thinking club to make our leaders to start thinking so that they can be able to see what we are seeing. And we have productive thinking because for the university, we are saying there should be productive thinking, something for the university, so that they will use thinking, apply thinking to the knowledge they acquire, so that they can be productive. You understand me? So that is what we do.
Are young people members of your Center for Applied Thinking?
There are young people there, and there are old people too. So that, you know, when we are, because old people that determine what happened to the young ones. So, but if you make them, you have thinking, parallel thinking. So they will see what we are seeing.
What have been the results? You know, for those young people who have been a part of your center, what have been the results? Have they seen any, you know, dramatic shift in terms of how they think and are able to, you know, shape their own future?
Yeah, you see, because we are talking of 2011, when the research came out, and we started, like we are working with Babcock University, so that they can be, the student coming out can be solution provider. Because but the root something is to get to the curriculum that we apply, because like in China, because many others, this Asian country, I did my research in Asian country. I was in Malaysia, I was in Singapore, I was in Hong Kong, so in China, there's a proverb in China: he who learns but does not think is lost. They appreciate thinking. They have thinking school in China. Do you understand? And in Singapore, they said thinking school, learning nation. Even in England, they have 5 thinking skills in their curriculum. But we don't have. That is why entrepreneur will not work here. In Japan, there's creativity and entrepreneurship education. That is why ICT will not work here. They are telling us there's one information system. But internationally, there are 2 information systems. The first information is active biological information system. That is the brain. How do you process information in your brain? And that is why in 5 thinking skills in England, the first thinking skill is information processing. Reasoning, inquiry, creative thinking, and evaluation. But we are not, because you see, without creativity, there will be no progress. And because some people, because of what we call conceptual blocks, there are 3 types of conceptual blocks anyway. This personal conceptual block, this environmental conceptual block, this cultural conceptual block. That is why the way we are doing yesterday, we continue. But knowledge of yesterday cannot solve problems today. But the way we are doing yesterday, they still want to continue. And it's good for the brain, because I teach people how the brain works. So it's good for the brain, because what you did yesterday, routine thinking they call it. So it's comfortable for them. That is why people, if not the conceptual block, personal conceptual block, there's one conceptual block that is of restricted research space. Just like somebody who has been visiting in his place, he has been visiting the pastor, and all pastors are male. And he now got to this place, he knocked the door of the vicar. It's happening in Kenya anyway. He knocked the door of the vicar, and the vicar now, the lady appeared, and he now said, "I want to see your father." And the lady now said, "Whom do you want to see?" He said, "I want to see vicar." The lady now said, "I'm the vicar." You see, the conceptual block is that where he is coming from, the male has been the vicar. So when he got there, he now expects, and he see a young lady, he said, "Where is your father?" So the conceptual block, many people have been to the ministry, the Federal Ministry of Education, many are still they don't know that the curriculum, the planning tools for the curriculum, this Bloom Taxonomy has been revised. They don't know. And complacency is a byproduct of ignorance.